you very much. The meeting is now streaming live. Welcome on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to what Zachary Shiloh calls the Black Lions domain, where universal grounding is partaken in. And this is the first episode of universal grounding in a long, long time. As a matter of fact, this is the third season of it. And I couldn't have asked for a better guest. She is a best-selling author. She's a podcaster. She's a mother and much, much more. And before we even get knee deep into what I actually have to talk to her about, thank you, one Blair Hayes and others for introducing me to the almighty Rosebud. She's absolutely great. I love her wholly. So Blair kids, if you're listening to this, again, thank you very much. All right, with that said, welcome to Black Lions Domain for Universal Grounding. Rose Davidson, how are you, my dear?
I'm very well, Zach. Thank you so much for inviting me onto this wonderful podcast live stream.
Thank you very much for coming on. All right, so Rose, you were part of this wonderful book series where I actually did introduce a certain somebody by the name of Blair Hayes called the She Is Magic series. I'm a part of that, but I didn't come along until it became a unisex series. You are one of the originators, and I loved it completely. So
it was a great series. Yeah, Blair did a magnificent job. I think I was in the third book I was in.
Always.
And yeah, it was a great experience. I learned quite a bit about writing for a book and being published and becoming an international bestseller.
Oh God. And kids out there, me and Rose were talking in private. I actually had gone through a living hell in the last 2 days. Seriously. Okay, so I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. A British Indian woman who I actually met through somebody that was in the Magic series, not named Blood. She actually featured me in this book called Overwhelming Odds. Unbeknownst to me, the book came out 2 days ago. I was practically alone, kids out there, from 9:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 8:29 p.m. same day. I'm basically busting my rear end, trying to get this baby to bestseller. Nobody is helping me at all, except for those that actually are like Blair and others in the Magic series. I'm just stunned by the results. The next morning see that the book cracked the top 100. Bravo to me. Bravo to me. All right, so I'm telling these Huns behind the scenes, I need help. I can't do this alone. So please, I need you every 30 minutes to an hour to promote this if we're gonna get it the bestseller. They didn't comply. I got lit. And then I went to Blair Hayes. I went to other people in the writing community who have been bestsellers with me and Rose, by the way. So I'm asking them for advice. And they suggest, let's lower the price, at least for 48 hours to ensure that we get the bestseller. No, no kids out there, that's not the case. So I'm hearing nothing but left. I said, you know what, I'm out of here. Yeah, sure, you got me in that book still, but Zachary Shiloh Watts, I don't play. I don't play when it comes to trying to get bestsellers. And you insult my intelligence. So I made it known, you insulted me. I'm out of here. Goodbye. And it hurt me so bad that I had to take an extra week off from work because heaven forbid I return to somewhere that irks me and I actually lose my junk on other people. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take an extra 7 days. That's the end of that. And I'll be back next week, fresh and out my mind perfectly. And plus, I had Rose. I wasn't going to miss Rose for anything at all. I've been without Black Lions Domain since January. Black Lions Domain is practically my world. Practically my world. Without it, I don't know how I function sometimes. It's what got me through the last 2 years, working-wise. I would have absolute storm days. And then I come home and I would talk to people like Rose, people like Blair, people who I know and I love wholly. And the next hour or whatever I got, I was the happiest man on earth. Nothing else mattered to me. And I wasn't going to miss this. No. And I'm not going to miss a certain blonde from Canada, or Squirrelkins, as I would call her. I'm not missing that in 2 weeks' time. No. All right. With that said, I'm feeling better. We're going to rock and roll with this. Okay, Rose, besides the almighty Blurkins, can you actually give us your true background? Because I gotta believe somewhere in your true background led you to the She Is Magic series.
Yeah, I was born in Canada.
Oh.
And lived there till I was about 12. And then we moved to Australia. And so what got me into the series was that I was interested in the topic that was for the book. And I wanted to tell my story of being sexually assaulted by my father from the age of 9 till I left home at 14. So I ran away from home when I was 14, and I've been pretty much on my own since, raising myself and doing the best I can to get where I am today. So it took a lot of courage and so forth to get where I am and to be the person that I am. But I am grateful that the bad things happened because it made me strong and to rely on myself and not rely on others.
Oh,
so
I
that's
hear
it,
you.
pretty much in a nutshell.
Oh, I love it. I was in awe of you, my dear, not only because you actually were in the series with Blair and I and everybody else, but I heard through a certain magical grapevine that you actually influenced a certain bestseller by the name of Charles Scanlon to join Letters of Magic. So how did you meet Charlie?
Well, that's news to me because I didn't know anything about that. Oh, it's quite a surprise. I don't think I've ever met Charles, to be honest. And for me to influence him to be in a bestseller, it must have been, I don't know, something I said in the group or my story, or I'm not really sure.
Oh, wow. That's shocking to me. Blurkins, please actually advise. But you actually did have a hand from what I heard, but it's good. It's good. Please do not think that Blair and I actually were talking trash. We actually were in awe.
No, it surprised me that I had an influence on someone, and it's a good thing that I did, even if I didn't know it. So, yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, we love Charlie. He was great to actually have around in the book. I love this chapter to his deceased family member. I was still in awe, and I'm still jazzing out about that book overall. That I'm the second last chapter, and a certain Brooke Coleman from She Is Magic, yes, were the last 2 chapters. And I still jazz out to this day. Well, Arquez, that was great booking. That was great booking. Finishing off with those blacks. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And Brooke, I'm still not giving up on you. I'm not giving up on you. Not at all. Especially for what we've been through together since then.
Well, I don't know. It's get Bleach. I know the She Is Magic series is no longer, but I know that Blair started a new publishing agency. So yeah, get involved in that. I'm sure that she's got several collaborative projects in hand, and yeah, get amongst it.
I am still there, regardless of what the name is. And our next book, kids, is called Dare to Dream. Dare to Release. Yeah, Dare to Release Me from the crap I've been through. But Dare to Dream is the proper name. And it is out June 14th. I found out today, Rose, what that date signified for me. I said, excuse me. So I was in deep meditation and I was just writing out dates or whatever. And then all right. I got no complaints at all. At all. So I was talking to Blur about it, and we were both kind of jazzing out a bit. I even made a post, but I'll throw it in the googly goo for the other people to read. This is about you, my dear. This is about you, not about me. This is about you. Okay, my dear. You're a mother. So
Yes.
how does that actually lead you into the podcasting world? Because that's where you influenced me the most. It wasn't from the She Is Magic series completely. You helped me with my podcast unbeknownst to the world. You gave me Calendly and Matchmaker. I still got to go through Matchmaker, but Calendly, oh God, life saver.
Absolutely. I'm not sure. You're frozen again, Zach, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Anyway, if I'm still live, I'm the mother of. You keep freezing.
I can't stand Zoom. Oh, there's Zoom. You're horrible. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Especially on live streams, you crazy hunts. I love you. I love you, but come on, Zoom, be nice.
Close everything else down. Close your emails down. You might not have enough bandwidth.
Maybe, let's see. Sometimes I even have to go and transform myself into audio mode. Oh boy.
Never mind. Anyway, I'm a mother of 3 children. They're all over 30. My son, he's in the middle. He got married on the 2nd of April, and I've just found out I'm going to be a grandmother in November. So that was really exciting. He told me on Mother's Day, so that was a really terrific present, because I never thought I'd ever have grandchildren. So, yep, I was just stoked, absolutely.
Oh, wow. So, Rose, how does this help you transition to talking with the experts? Because I found you by way of the YouTube world more so than YouTube. I mean, more than Magic. So
motherhood had nothing to do with it, really. It was just I had my fingers in lots of different business genres. When I first left the corporate world, I started doing admin work for other entrepreneurs, and then I didn't really like that because I'd been doing it for like over 35 years and I thought it was really boring. So then I got into making PowerPoint presentations, and people didn't want to do that so much. And then when the pandemic hit here in Australia in July, I noticed that a lot of business owners were closing down or, really challenged with staying open. And so I thought, well, why don't have a podcast so that I can talk to other business owners who can offer advice and help and, their journey on not just going through the pandemic, but business in general. So that's how Talking with the Experts came to be. So I've just had, I'm nearly up to 21,000 downloads since July 2020. And so I'm doing pretty well. I'm apparently rank in the top 5% of podcasts because of the number of episodes that I've done and the amount of downloads I've had. I mean, it's not in the tens of thousands, like, hundreds of thousands or millions, but I'm happy with 21,000. It's pretty good.
21,000 episodes?
No, downloads.
Oh, downloads. Oh, I was about to say.
I've just recorded my 282nd episode.
Oh. Well, when this is all said and done, you're in, I would say, the 680s of my podcast. I don't know how I've done it. I've almost got 700 episodes of my podcast.
Oh, done.
Yeah. I've exceeded you. I've exceeded some of my greatest podcasting influences. I've exceeded people that have faded off the face of God's green earth. I said, excuse me. I thought some of my greatest influences, they would have already had about the same amount of episodes I do, or even better. That this was something better. But I was just taken back just to see all of you. And then I saw myself. I said, ooh, wow, go me. Go me. But now I'm looking to try to get my podcast monetized again. I'm trying to make the books monetized. I'm even doing what I call Mind Over Matter Unlimited, my dear, where health resurrection manifests. Life starts anew in the mind. What follows awes you? I got 3 clients. All right, 2 of them are best-selling authors. The other one is married to one of them, but he in his own right is a soon-to-be best-selling author when all said is done. So I was already doing this vacation thing, and all of a sudden I could hear Mind Over Matter Unlimited. I wanted to get back to coaching because I felt like I was a failure and I wanted to try my hand at it again. And I believe that I can get people to where they want. So I'm hearing Mind Over Matter, Mind Over Matter. Okay, I got the name. So what's the mission statement? There's got to be something that sounds like that's going to come out the mouth of Zachary, Shiloh, or Zachary, Shiloh, depending on preference. What does it sound like? Okay, so I'm meditating. All right, this is where health resurrection manifests. That sounds like something I'd say. Life starts anew in the mind. That's something I would say. What follows will awe you. Definitely something out of my mouth. And then I put it all together and I sent it to somebody like Blair Hayes. I sent it to my clients and other people, and they were in awe. They were like, oh, that is definitely something that will come from you. And then I got my 3 clients. Ever since late April, these people have awed me, bro. The couple have respectively lost weight. They've lost weight. The female is under 200 pounds. I said, excuse me. This is absolutely great. And she was shooting to lose weight by October 9th. And female Kims, if you're listening to this, please correct me if I'm wrong. All right. So the husband is now trying to catch up to the wife, in a sense. And we've kept in touch because they're 2 of my best friends on the planet. So I'm hearing their progress and I'm in awe. Not even a full-fledged month, bro. It's like they learn from me and they're exceeding what I thought they would do. Now, the other Han, I love her wholly, but she's very busy and she's a very big fan of you. She's a very big fan of you. She was in the Magic series with us. But she's occupied right now with her business. So she's watching this on replay. And I cannot say her true name yet, because I feature her in a different book slated for October. I mean, not October, August release. But I can say her nickname, My Honorable Irish Love. She loves you whole. She really does. So Irish Love, you actually got a fan in Rose Davidson, and she's rooting you to get into Mind Over Matter Unlimited from start.
Well done.
Yes, she is. So Irish Love, Zachary Shiloh loves you. Sooner than later, it's time for us to get to work. All right, so talking with the experts, my dear, how long has it been running?
13th of July 2020 was my first episode.
Whoa, about 2 years. Not bad. That's kind of like about a year and a month after my podcast.
Right.
Oh man, and you got over 200 episodes. That Rosebud, I gotta give you an applause, man. I gotta give you an applause. Because not many people in our industry last years.
No, 5 episodes usually, and then they get lost in the process. They just don't. They find it all too hard, or just lose interest. So,
yeah.
But I love what I do. So, and I love the people that I've met.
Yeah, your podcast is absolutely amazing. I've actually sat through several episodes of it. The most recent were with this gentleman named Minter and a blind woman. I forgot what her name was, but I know their stories, and I was just flabbergasted. Not in a bad way. I want them on my podcast eventually, both of them. I said to myself, oh God, Rose gets these great people in the business industry overall. Like, I really consider Rose like a mentor in the podcasting industry.
Thanks.
Now, she could get all these Huns and guys. Why not me? Why not me? So, Rose, thank you for keeping your podcast going. Because in a sense, without you, I wouldn't be sitting here on different levels. You helped me organize my podcast a little bit better. But at the same point in time, I feel like I'm growing as a business person to some degrees or another. So please, my dear, no matter what the circumstances, please keep talking with the experts going, because that's motivating me to do my business. That's motivating me to do this podcast, because like you said, people legit fall off the face of the earth because they don't feel inspired anymore. They are white hot, and then some odd reason goes to weasel. Like, I not only listen to podcasts, but this applies to some people on YouTube. I'm a YouTube addict, kind of. I can admit that. So I've had my fair share of people who were on YouTube, and then all of a sudden they faded off the earth. I said, what happened? And I tried to contact some of them. No response. And that hurts my soul to some degrees or another, where they just don't even say goodbye.
Well, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, it is. Especially this beautiful Russian woman who I thought was an English woman. She was on my show before Blair. I found out the day of the recording. I said, "Excuse me, you're Russian." She said, "Yes." I said, "Hon, you live out in the UK. You don't sound Russian. You don't sound Russian." That's amazing. But the last episode that she did of her channel, she announced that she was pregnant with a child, and then she just faded off. And it's almost been 2 years. Another woman, she's out in California. She was on a quote unquote weight loss journey. All of a sudden, she's doing pretty good in my point of view. Then she just fades. No goodbye, no nothing. And I'm trying to at least talk to the hunt, see if she's okay. But nothing's going. And I try to tell these people, these new people in the podcasting industry, take time for yourself. Seriously. Because you can burn out real fast. I've seen my fair share of people in the podcasting industry fade when they were at their white hottest for politics or whatever the case may have been. And years later, their influence is still kind of felt, but it's not as it was. So
it's hard to stay motivated. When I first started, I was doing up to 5 interviews 5 days a week. So 5 interviews per day, 5 days a week.
Oh wow!
And now I'm still doing 3 5 days a week. So it's because I do all the producing and editing and everything. So it becomes quite
tedious.
Well, not tedious so much as it's a lot of hours that you're putting into something that when you've got other things that you need to be doing as well, it just takes a lot of time if you're doing it yourself. And I haven't monetized mine yet, so I can't afford to get someone to do all the stuff for me. So but it does take a lot of time. It's about 2 hours per episode that it takes to upload it to all the channels and to YouTube.
That's the truth. I actually do have a couple of friends in the Magic series who are podcasters in their own right. I was a fan of their shows, but then they faded off. One happened to be in Always With You and my dear Irish love. I got on her case about it. I said, Mayoko, what happened to your show? And she's always telling me, "Oh, I'm gonna come back. I got this, that, and the third ready." And I said, "You'll come when you're ready. I can yell at you until the sun doesn't shine. I can roar at you until the cows don't, the pigs don't, and the animals don't do whatever they do. You're gonna do whatever you got, because you're going through whatever mess you are." And now my clients, the married couple in Mind Over Matter, they had this wonderful supernatural show called Angel Ring. I was their first guest, but things happened to them besides their own health and us coming together in Mind Over Matter. It really stinks for me, Rose, that here are good intended people and then they faded off. But yet, absolute shit bricks, excuse my French, kids out there, they're ruining the airwaves right now. Like this garbage of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. I'm like, why is this going on? But yet, Mayoko Fakino Mayhill and the Hills, they faded off the face of the earth. And that upsets me. We're celebrating stupidity and undermining those that actually want to make a difference. And yet, somehow, some way, I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to stop roaring. I'm not going to stop spitting fire ever, because stupidity exists. Yeah, sure, we need some of it. We need some of it because we're human beings. But at the same point in time, we need something like you. We need something like me. We need something like Angel Radio. We need something like Majestic Moments to counteract this, because we can't be completely in that zone. We need more people to not only be supernatural. We are energy beings living in a human experience. We need people that have experience in the business world. I keep on saying this time again, and I will never shut up. I will never shut up until this happens. We don't need the politicians. We need each other, period. We need each other, period. And the best ways to go about it is through writing, is through podcasting, and other multidimensional.
Yep, I agree. And I like to give a voice to others. It's I guess that's my mission in life, is to allow others to use their voice for good. And so that's why I love my podcast.
Oh, I love it too. It's such a refresher. Oh, thank you again for actually coming on my podcast. You keep me going, and I'll never shut up about it, because without the likes of you, without the likes of what, without everybody I named, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm still in awe that in a month, in about 7 days from now, I've been up and roaring for 4 seasons, 3 years. I'm still crying myself to sleep sometimes in awe of my success with this podcast. It was monetized at some point, then it fell off, but I still kept going. Some people, like all those that I named, said, you keep going because you don't know how to stop. You're the voice of the voiceless to some degree, so I'm not. We need you out there. And every single time I hear that, I can't help but cry, because it's the truth. While people like my parents, God bless them, I love them whole, but they worship the ground that these politicians walk. And it disgusts me that they would use the likes of a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X, or a Rosa Parks to try and goat me into something I never believed in since I was practically in my teens. And I, time again, seen what those people went through. And it wasn't just for the rights to vote. No, those people died for the human race as a whole. Period. And that's what my podcast is about. Having you, having anybody that gave me that time. And I will never stop saying thank you until I never stop crying. And that will never happen, because I always cry. Especially because I'm humble and grateful. This podcast is my saving grace. Without it, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be dead. I've always said this, Rose, out loud. By rights, 2019 should have been the end of it because I was going nowhere. I was like you. I was like Blair. I was like Neil. I was like so many other people in the Magic series. My life was going nowhere. As much as I loved the woman I was with, me and her, we were more so arguing about things. But I had the gumption to say, okay, I need help. I need help. So I went and got the help, and then we eventually broke up. But what kept me going? My own determination to exceed people like my parents in health, exceed others that don't want to try and better this world, period. And I will never stop until I'm 6 feet under. I will never stop because I hear people say, oh, you should retire. Not meaning me. You should actually retire when you're like 67. I don't want to do that. I want to work forever. Not for the employer that I have, on my own. I've seen some of the greatest self-help teachers in the world in the last 3 to maybe 20 years, either known to me or not. And some of them now, oh God, they're like in their 70s or 80s, depending on who you're looking at. Like, I keep on bringing up Mary Morse. She's got to be like in her 70s, I think. That hunt is great for her age. And she's still doing what she does. Yeah, sure, I was $7,000 in debt to her, but still the influence is greater than the debt. And I exceeded her in best-selling authorships. She's got like 2. I got about 3 times as much. But when Dare to Dream comes next month, that is the proper 7th book launch for me. I don't count Overwhelming Us because of what I. When I work with Blair Hayes, I go gold because that hunt will not stop until it's number 1. And it's always fun.
Well, Zach, I have to love and leave you.
Yeah, let's leave. Let's leave. I'm getting ready to hit the leave point. Okay. Well, there's only a few things I got left. Well, with that said, my dear Rosebud, who I love and honor and respect, what can Zachary Shiloh do for you going forward, my dear? That's number 1 in this case.
I don't know. I can't think of anything at the present moment, but thank you for asking.
I love that. That makes me laugh. All right. If not now, within the next week to a month, can I ask you for 3 people you think would go great with me?
Yeah, I'll message you those people's names.
Okay, and the last bit. All right. Your desires, my dear, of the future are?
To get my podcast in the top 200 in Australia, to have a successful business, and to have good health.
Oh, I love that, especially given something behind the scenes that you and I have talked about, and I kept my mouth shut out of respect to you for it. All right, so with that said, one goal, one aim, one road, one focus, your beautiful hunskins and loves out there. As lovins, even if it sounds like I'm venting and I'm very angry at points, I'm what they call passionate. I'm passionate about people like Rose over here, my clients in not black women, mind over matter. You can even say Black Lions don't mean. Why not? They're my clients. All these huns that actually grace me, they're my clients. I'm passionate about my own family, even though they piss me off at times. I'm passionate about the human race as a whole. We don't need no donkeys. We don't need no elephants. We don't need no lions. All we need is each other. Period. With that said, I'm gonna let the rosebud go because she's got a breakfast and other things to take care of. When will Black Lions Domain come back? I believe in 2 weeks' time, but there's something called the law of attraction, kids. Like attracts alike. So do not think for a second that there may not be a surprise in the wings. With that said, I bow to you all humbly and respects. And please join me in the next episode of Black Lions Airspace.